All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we have a rumor that is being out there on Twitter about Jaron Boots Ennis and some plans that he has as far as the belts he has at 147 and the potential of him moving up to 154. If he was to do this, that would be avoiding a huge mistake that Errol Spence Jr. made in his career. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, I get to talk about one of my favorite fighters, one of the best fighters in boxing, in my opinion, one of the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, Jaron Boots Ennis. Yesterday, passed by, was going through Twitter, and there was a line of rumor of people talking about what Jaron Ennis was going to be doing, and there is a belief out there that Jaron Ennis is going to soon vacate his titles at 147 and move up to 154 pounds. If that is the case, that is a huge development in the sport of boxing, and it has ripple effects all through the division of 147 and 154. Now, before I get into the details, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. It really makes a huge difference to the channel, especially to the people that think that that support in the super thanks, which is a little $ in a comment section down by the down below. But anyway, let's get into this, because one of my favorite fighters of all time is Errol Spence Jr. Errol is a guy that over the course of his career has fought all the top competition. He fought, with the exception of Sean Porter, he fought Kell Brook, won the IBF belt off Kell Brook, stayed in the weight class, got the WBC belt off Sean Porter, stayed in the weight class, had accidents, did all kind of stuff, but stayed in the weight class so that he could get the WBA belt from Yordenis Ugas. And then he stayed in the weight class longer so that he could get a fight with Terrence Crawford to go for undisputed at 147 pounds. For people that know Errol Spence Jr. are familiar with that circumstance, people know and have been said that Errol Spence Jr. should have left that weight class a long time before he actually left the weight class, because his body had already grown out of the weight class and he was doing a lot to continue to shrink himself down. And many people believe that ultimately that was the problem, or a major problem, that he had when he fought Errol Spence Jr. was the fact that he, was just had to drain down and drain down and drain down for that weight, right? Down to that weight. Now, a lot of that was Errol Spence Jr.'s problems, his own fault. It is what it is. However, I think it's fair to say that he stayed in that weight class too long, and as a result, it affected him at the end when he most needed it. Well, fast forward to Jaron Ennis, who was in a similar situation to Errol Spence Jr., in that he's now a unified champion at 147 pounds. He beat Stanionis for the WBA belt. But if you looked at him in the weigh-in, you could tell that Jaron really is having a very, very hard weight cuts. It looks like he's, really, really drawn. And it may be, and it's very well timed for him to move up and go ahead and go to 154. I used to have conversations, shout out to Greg Hackett from Greg Hackett Boxing, where he was saying that he believed Jaron Ennis needed to move up in weight. I was kind of hesitant to the idea, because I was like, yeah, I want to see him become an undisputed champion or become a unified champion. Well, as of right now, he's a unified champion, and it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of competition in that weight division for him. Brian Norman Jr. doesn't seem like he's in the greatest hurry in the world to get in a fight with him. And then, of course, you have Manny Pacquiao and Mario Barrios and what they're doing, and who knows whether or not he's going to be able to get a fight with the winner of those. So all things considered, I think it's probably is time for him to move up, because if he moves up, then we have a whole host of very, very solid fights that are there for Jaron. And the reason why I think it's important to talk about Jaron is because unlike some of the talent that's going into the 147-pound division, like Teofimo Lopez, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, that crew, Jaron Ennis is legitimately a top level talent, where I think those guys are they are talented and they're very, very good fighters, upper level fighters, but I don't think any of those guys are like super elite fighters like Jaron Ennis. And I think they do more, they're more of a show. They're more show than they are go. But Jaron, going to 154, you have the fights that could be to take place with Tim Tszyu. You have Tim Tszyu Sebastian Fundora winner for the WBC title, which is a title that Mario Barrios holds at 154, but the WBA belt should be coming up available, because Terrence Crawford has already gone to 100 and is going to 168 pounds, but there's plenty of fights there for Jaron Ennis. Now, there had been talk about Jaron Ennis's promotional situation. Now, my understanding is that came from a report from Matt from Brunch Boxing, very, very astute, very, very well connected, very, very honest from what I can see as far as what he's reporting. It doesn't seem like he's playing around a lot. He said that basically they were ready to go to the PBC. The only thing that they were waiting on, that was Bozy Ennis and Jaron Ennis's team, was a call from Al Heyman. So now my personal opinion is I would say, hey, man, you might want to just go there and sit down with them. But hey, man, that's their business. That's not my business. But at the end of the day, though, that is probably where he needs to go. And I'm telling you, boxing right now is just in a very, very weird spot, because there's a lot of talk going on, but there's very, very few fights that people are really interested in. And because of the way that Turki Al-Sheikh is doing this, picking this fighter and picking this fighter, mismatching this fighter with that fighter, there's no real storylines being developed for fighters and, to make big fights. So it's just a really, really weird time, but I do believe that it's going to pass, and that soon you're going to have a lot more cards from the PBC, and you're going to have a lot more cards that people are really legitimately wanting to see these fights. This experiment with Turki Al-Sheikh, in my opinion, is not going well. Like, look at what's happening with Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Crawford. That's a fight that nobody's really asking for. There's no real momentum behind either one of those fighters to have that fight. And they're going to put that fight on in the middle of the afternoon. It's just a very, very weird situation going on in boxing. But if Jaron Ennis gets away from that, goes to the PBC and goes to 154 at a very, very healthy weight for himself, he can probably become undisputed, be a unified champion in that weight division, go up to 160, because it seems like his frame will hold it. But anyway, I'm really, I believe in this move. I think that this is a good move for Jaron if he does it. Anyway, that's my take on the matter. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Deuces.